very good evening to you and welcome. It's Tuesday, 3rd September 2024. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, Rivers State government donates vehicles to police. Governor Fubara charges them to be apolitical. PDP governors slam FCT minister over threat to destabilize state party chapters. Civil servants in Rivers State call for additional buses following recent hike in petrol pump price. NNPCL to sell crude oil to Dangote refinery in Naira. On the foreign scene, boat accident kills dozens off French coast in English Channel. I am Constance Mega. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll bring you the details of the news. Stay tuned. Warned partisan police officers that the enmity they create will haunt them. Governor Fubara said this while presenting 100 operational vehicles donated to the State Police Command, and he charged them to be neutral in the political situation in the state.
Every one of you here as an officer that is partisan, you will see how you will end. Work in such a way that when your name are mentioned in this state or your children come to this state, you won't be scared. Forget about what is happening. Nothing lasts forever. As a professional that you are, your duty is to protect life and property of Rivers State. It's not to protect any individual. It's not to be one-sided in the political affair of the state. The enmity you're creating, for those of you that are partisan, will live with you forever. For me, I will never ask any of you to do what is wrong. My appeal is be fair to all.
Well, the governor said the vehicles were donated to support the police to secure the state.
It wasn't my idea, but the CP advised that he did it sometime in Lagos, and I bought into the idea. And why are we doing this? We discovered that response to crime scene to attack were slow because you lack mobility. And what we just did was a first phase of support to the Nigerian police. We also intend to come again to give you other sophisticated vehicles to support what you're doing.
Well, in his remarks, CP Olatunji Disu assured the governor that the gesture will help improve policing in Rivers State.
Your unwavering support for the Nigerian police force and dedication to the welfare of our community is truly commendable. This act of generosity not only enhances our operational capacity, but also reflects your deep concern for the citizens. These vehicles will empower our officers, enabling them to respond more swiftly and effectively to emergencies and enhance our community policing efforts. With your support, sir, we are reinforcing our resolve to combat crime and uphold the rule of law.
Well, moving on. PDP Governors Forum has slammed the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike over his threat to instigate crisis in the party. In a statement by the Director General of the Forum, the governors labelled the FCT Minister's threat as unbridled, irresponsible and completely unacceptable. Recall that Mr. Wike had, during the PDP Congress in Port Harcourt, threatened to instigate a crisis in any state where the governor tries to interfere in the affairs of Rivers State PDP. Meanwhile, the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, is expected to meet tomorrow, Wednesday, to review the recently held ward and state congresses, as well as the governor's position on Rivers State, where reports say the meeting will also discuss the ongoing litigation involving the defected members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. In another development, a chairmanship hoped for in the October 5th local government election, Sinogba Egbema Ndoni local government area of Rivers State, Kingsley Ogu, has empowered women entrepreneurs in the area. While speaking at the inauguration of the Onelga chapter of Rivers Women Unite for SIM in Egbema, Dr. Ogu commended the convener, Sotonye Toby Fulton, and the group members for their prayers and support for the peace and prosperity of Rivers State, where he emphasized that their efforts are paving the way for the leader of the state, Governor Siminalayi Fubara's success in the challenges ahead.
Indeed, I'm very happy. I'm so happy because what Rivers Women is doing for our amiable governor is empowering him spiritually. Whatever I am today, a woman made me. Barrister Darlene Onyeble, 15 years ago. I remember I made a promise to her that I am always going to support women. It is against that background that I'm giving this token 30,000 each for 17 persons covering the 17 wards in Onelga.
Well, Dr. Ogu further pledged continued support and partnership with Rivers Women Unite for SIM and promised to ensure that Onelga women are fully engaged in all the group's activities if he emerges as the council boss.
I also want to stand here to let us know that Rivers Women Unite for SIM, especially the Onelga branch, I want you to be the most active branch. I want you to come up with programs. I shall always be there.
In other news now, some civil servants in Rivers State are calling for additional palliative buses while it follows the hike in pump price of petrol and a slight increase in transportation costs. A correspondent who visited the state secretariat observed a long queue trying to board the already filled buses. Well, the civil servants spoke on the need to rehabilitate the secretariat complex, among other things.
If possible, it should provide more now because the buses are serving both the public and the civil servants. Like closing time, the buses come for the civil servants. A lot of people are standing. This is not fitting for government workers.
We need up to 3 vehicles on Aba Road. Every 4 o'clock, there is at least 3 vehicles should be available here to pick up civil servants. The Road also need 3 vehicles. There is more population that goes this route. The government need to make a provision for healthcare for civil servants here.
The renovation of the secretariat complex is due. Most of the buildings are dilapidating, parts falling down and all that.
Moving on now, the Association of Female Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, Rivers State Chapter, has held a one-day symposium and campaign against cholera in Okochiri Kingdom of Okrika local government area. While speaking during the sensitization program, the state chairman of the group, Miwari Ibifubara Jumbo, said they aim to achieve a disease-free society.
Even if we have one confirmed case of mpox, it's an outbreak. But before this mpox, we had cholera. Right now, we are still having reported incidents of cholera. So we will not neglect cholera infection and outbreak because mpox is here. So we are carrying the two along. Once we hear that there is any public health concerns, we will bring out our skill, our training, and our knowledge to carry out the advocacy. Teach our people how to prevent themselves from being infected.
On his part, the World Health Organization chairman in Okochiri, DK Omobo, said about 6 cholera cases were recorded in the area.
About 2-3 weeks ago, we heard about cholera from Lagos and other states. It jumped into Port Harcourt. It did not even reach Port Harcourt. It crossed Port Harcourt to this Okrika, and we have arrested about 6 cases, and everybody was safe. And this is to alerting more of you. We are so happy for you people to come in.
Well, some residents also shared lessons they learned from the symposium.
From the beginning, they taught us how to be careful about this outbreak of cholera, and we are grateful for what they gave to us, at least to help and protect we and our children. God will bless them.
I learned how to control cholera, take care of my vicinity so that I will not be contaminated, how to wash the food I eat and the vegetables, to wash my hands.
To arrange the place, clear all your dirties, and to mop everywhere to be neat.
This is a very good program. This type of thing has been existing. We have been hearing. Now we have seen it physical. So I thank God that people have come and enlighten us. Also give us gifts. They said it is very good for us to boil our water before we drink.
Our correspondent reports that the highlight of the event was the distribution of sanitary materials and a street walk. Away from that, the Nigeria Police Force has called on the wanted British national Andrew Wine to come out of his hiding and surrender to the police for questioning if his hands are clean. Well, Force Public Relations Officer ACP Muyiwa Adejobi said this in a statement today. Now, he said Mr. Wine refused to answer several invitations sent to him by the police even after his workshop was raided. Recall that police had declared Mr. Wine and his alleged Nigerian collaborator Lucky Obiyan wanted for allegedly plotting to overthrow President Bola Tinubu's administration and placed a 20 million naira bounty on them. President Bola Tinubu has met with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping in Beijing, China. Well, this was disclosed by the special advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, and he said both leaders announced the elevation of Nigeria-China ties to that of a comprehensive strategic partnership. Still to come, NNPCL to sell crude oil to Dangote refinery in Naira. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. And now to the rest of the news. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited petrol stations have increased the pump price of petrol from 568 naira to 897 naira per litre. The spokesperson of the NNPCL, Olufemi Soneye, has declined to comment on the hike, but a viral video has shown that some filling stations sell between 855 naira to 900 naira per litre. Recall that 2 days ago, the NNPCL said it owed its suppliers more than $6 billion in debt. Meanwhile, the NNPCL NMDPRA confirmed this on its X handle today. It said the NNPCL reached an agreement to start selling and supplying to Dangote Refinery in local currency. In the meantime, businessman Femi Otedola has told owners of oil depots in the country to dismantle their depots and sell them as scrap. Mr. Otedola said this following the announcement that Dangote Refinery is now fully ready to roll out petroleum products. But Mr. Otedola, in a post on X, said the development has practically put an end to the business of fuel importers in the country.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
At least 12 people have died after a boat carrying migrants capsized off the French coast in the English Channel, where more than 50 people have been rescued in the incident. And of course, the French Coast Guard said that many of them are still receiving treatment. And it is the deadliest disaster this year in the Channel, which is the world's busiest shipping lane. Well, that's the news, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this evening, you heard that the Rivers State government has donated 100 operational vehicles to the police, even as Governor Fubara charged them to be apolitical. PDP governors have slammed the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike over his threat to destabilize state party chapters. And the civil servants in Rivers State have called for additional buses following the recent hike in pump price of petrol. The NNPCL has agreed to sell crude oil to Dangote Refinery in Naira. On the foreign scene, a boat accident has killed 12 people off the French coast in the English Channel. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.